Go ahead. Good morning, class 7A, and a warm welcome back. So today you have already learned about Sher Shah, you have learned about Humayun and Babur, of course. So Sher Shah was the last part that we all were discussing, and I will upload the answer key very soon, and you all can refer to it for doing your corrections, and you can refer to it for all kinds of practice as well. Sher Shah Suri used silver coin. Sher Shah Suri introduced a new silver currency in his kingdom, which was used for trading and all kind, various kinds of purposes. Sher Shah Suri introduced this new coin system in his empire. So let me see how you all present and what you all have found out today and Monday. I would like to see you all. Let's start with Adhiraj.
Ma'am, I have a doubt before that.
Shriyank, today's class, I'll not, if you have doubts, mail it to me. I'll get back to you. Yes,
Okay.
Adhiraj.
So I will share my screen.
You share screen. Others, be ready. I want to see how you all have, and accordingly, I'll not reply individually anymore for the project because I'll see everyone's project. Yes, start.
Yes. So my topic is trade and commerce. And in trade and commerce, one of the most important parts are that he restored the Grand Trunk Road, which was first built by the Mauryans. The next point is he also invented the rupiah currency, which helped a lot in trade.
Okay.
And Sher Shah Suri made efforts to promote trade and commerce by introducing various new weights and measures. This currency was divided into three parts: gold, silver, and copper. Gold was known as mohurs and copper was known as dams.
Dams. Okay, so gold was known as mohur and copper was known as dam. Next slide.
And one of the most important thing is Sher Shah had peace, law, and order in his kingdom, and trade can thrive in these circumstances.
Okay.
He reconnected a lot of big and important roads, which helps a lot in trade. There were sarais, which are rest houses. Dak chowkis used the sarais for quick delivery of mails.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. My activity is over.
Okay. Thank you. Adhiraj, I can understand. Absolutely. Your points are fine. You should start with a little bit of introduction on Sher Shah Suri in the beginning. Okay, instead of giving this at the end, this should be your first thing. So, I would like to ask you, what do you think? The policies that were adopted by Sher Shah Suri, they were good. Do you approve of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think so?
Ma'am, because under Sher Shah Suri's rule, everything was going fine and well, and everyone was, maximum of the people were following the rules, and then.
How did following the rules help trade and commerce?
Ma'am, if someone follows the rule and there is no stealing and all, then it helps, and then the traders get more trust in the people, and they often come, and the rupiahs that were invented, which it was also a very good help.
Okay, thank you, Adhiraj. Thank you for sharing. Arshia, good. Keep up this good effort, Arshia.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this is I have made a project on military administration of Sher Shah Suri. So this is the introduction. Sher Shah Suri was born. Sher Shah Suri's name was Farid. Real name was Farid, and
Tell.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sher Suri started the dynasty from 1540 and he ruled for a very short time, for 5 years, till 1545. I have These are the points of military administration. He followed the Alauddin Khalji's military administration. Like he maintained a large standing army of cavalry, infantry, and elephants. He branded the horses to prevent theft, which is called the dag, and he maintained a record of his soldiers to prevent corruption, which is called pehra. He paid his soldiers and officials regularly in cash, and he set up cantonments in different parts of his territory.
Right.
I have also done research and found some interesting facts on Sher Shah Suri. So he maintained a strong standing army at the center, like Alauddin Khalji, and his army consisted of 1,50,000 cavalry and 25,000 infantry and 3,000 war elephants and a huge artillery. So Sher Shah Suri also appointed a military officer known as Bakshi-e-Lashkar for his help in the military administration. Sher Shah devised yet another method to administer the distant province of Bengal. There was no military governor in Bengal that time. That's right. He did not depend on the Jagirdar for the supply of soldiers whenever needed by the Sultan. He maintained a direct link and made them direct loyal to him and not to the Jagirdar.
Okay. So this much is fine. So go to the conclusion.
Yes, ma'am. So this is the conclusion where it is said that Sher Shah was in real time the ruler of the public. We don't find any ruler in India of medieval times as welfare conscious as he was. His reforms were retained first by the Mughals and then by the British. He got very little time to rule. His place in history as a model administrator was ensured, mainly because Sher Shah adopted the principle that the duty of a monarch was not simply the maintenance of peace and order, but a proactive attitude towards the welfare of the subject.
Okay, thank you. Good. This is an important paragraph that you have included, and you have added a stamp of Sher Shah. Okay.
So I have.
Ma'am, I am having some network problems, so I'm not being able to see anything.
Hold on, then let next people, I hope it will improve. Yes, Arshia, complete. You have added some comments by famous historians. Okay, Arshia, thank you. You can, I'll see to it. You can close the.
May I leave and join?
Yes, you can, Shukalpo. Arshia, so I would like to hear your views. So how do you think Sher Shah Suri was as a military leader?
Ma'am, I think he was a very nice leader in history because as he was a ruler, he did not speak, but he also tried to teach his soldiers, and the soldiers also learned very much from him.
Okay, so people could learn very much from him. So I would like to hear you. Do you think, why do you think Sher Shah also decided to pay soldiers regularly in cash? What was the motive? What could have been the motive? Like money can be a motivation so that they want to work in that army. Yes, Arshia? Yes, money can be a motivation to work, more dedicatedly. If you are getting good pay for your work, you would always want to work dedicatedly. Okay, thank you. Good effort, Arshia. Good.
Ma'am?
Is Aryaman.
Ma'am, actually, I can't really share since my work is in my computer and my father is doing his work and a meeting in the computer.
Ma'am,
Positively do it. Shreyam, right? I cannot do anything. You haven't sent any absent note. Your parents haven't sent.
Ma'am, I sent an absent note.
I sent to you, Shudeshna ma'am and Rajlakshmi ma'am, all together.
Okay, I will look into it. The written part you have missed, so I cannot help that, but I'll see to if something can be done about the Vicon part. Okay, so Aryan, can you share? Aryan. Yes, Aryan. Aryan is not here. Okay, Atrey. Atrey. Yes.
And can you see?
Please share. Yes, yes.
Yes, can you see me? Can you see this?
Absolutely nice. Administrative policies. Okay.
Ma'am, I couldn't, actually, I'm sorry, ma'am, I couldn't add some points. I just missed some points. Can I explain first? Can I explain? Okay. Shesha Suri was good administration because the first 5 years he used some template for civil administration in India. He divided 47. He divided his kingdom in 47 divisions. In provinces into sarkars, which is also district. These places were under 3 main officers. Like one group of officers were in the charge of finance, laws, and orders, and armies, while the other officers were who collected taxes, were the last group who collected the quasi or the chief judge.
Okay, still here. Now go to the policies. Fine.
Okay, but yeah. I'm actually sorry. I mistakenly don't find that accent. Okay, so he was a good in administration. He did a great emphasis and improved the roads just to communicate to develop the communications of the pupils. As if the roads are good, then communication of the pupil will be also better.
And also, I think he himself as a king can stay connected, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were no
he
phones
helped-
at that time, right?
Yeah, he helped in military movements and also developed the trade and commerce. He also developed trade and commerce. He ensured that the roads were great control over the countryside. He ensured that it was safe. He was safe and all. He restored the old imperial road, which is the Grand Trunk Road from the river Indus in the west to Sonargaon in Bengal. Each province had a governor with his free official carry out the administrative duties. There was officers, like I said, officers of who collected taxes, who collected finance or laws and orders, and armies, like that.
Absolutely.
So here he did a good. He was actually good. He had most of them good as follows. Like Sher Shah said about ruling the land he had conquered, in addition to the continuing his policy of military expansion. He used his administrative talents to create an organization that could be used efficient to rule large part of lands. During his 5
You can stop share, then I'll ask you. Okay. So you know, what are your views? Okay, I want to know what are your views. Why do you think, give me 3 reasons why you think Sher Shah can be called a very good administrator?
Like just a second, like I just said, right here he first number one. Number one, he used a postal system. He first introduced the postal system by using horses. Second, he used rupees and rupees or takas, tankas, to
Rupee. Rupiah.
rupia tankas, and he helped. There are many words also. He helped in military's movements also, and also he helped in roads to
Okay, so he maintains good roads, means he did work for his people also. He
yeah, yeah.
economy also.
For also in communications, just to stay in just to link with the.
Okay, I get the point. Thank you, Atri. Thank you for trying to explain and understand, the topic, just not learning by heart. Good. Ishan.
Ma'am, there is also some stamps of him. I'm sorry that I didn't
That's
show
fine.
a date. I
Very
didn't
nice.
insert it. I'll show you.
Okay. Right now, I need to move to Ishan. Yes, Ishan. Sonic, write it in the chat box. I'll read it. Yes, Ishan. Yes. Sonic, write in the chat box. I'll read.
No, see.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yes.
Good that you have used a map of his kingdom.
His empire. Introduction. Sher Shah Suri was a great ruler and a great administration. He was a great warrior witnessed by medieval India, who turned down the Mughal rule from India and established the rule of Afghans, which came to known as the Sood dynasty, which happened from 1540 AD till 1556 AD,
Correct.
with Sher Shah Suri as its first ruler from 1540 to 1545 AD. Farid was a childhood name of Sher Shah Suri, and the title Sher Shah was first conferred upon by him by Bahar Khan, who was the then Jagir of Bihar.
Jagirdar of Bihar. Okay, go to the next slide.
Okay. Ma'am, measures taken by Sher Shah for development for trade and commerce. Construction of roads. A chain of roads got established by Sher Shah, which connected important parts of country with his capitals within his capitals. The most important road among the Sarak-e-Azam, renamed as the Grand Trunk Road by the Britishers, connecting Sonargaon in eastern Bengal with Attock, now in Pakistan.
Okay, next point. Don't read full then, because we'll have next.
Eliminated unwanted taxes. Before Sher Shah sat on the throne, the merchants had to pay number of illegitimate taxes.
Illegitimate means like a bribe. You give now that without anything you are taking unnecessary extra taxes which are not lawful, illegal, you can say.
From the farmers for pro purpose from them.
Then
yes, ma'am. Which Sher Shah felt quite necessary after he crowned himself as emperor. So, in action, he removed many of such taxes and charged octroi duty only at 2 places. Then,
any article produced or entered into a country, and when the article was put on sale. So after removing many unwanted taxes, the traders and other business persons felt eased to indulge them into trade activities which increased economic charm within empire.
Next point.
Yes, ma'am. Good behavior with traders. The officers and other administrative persons were ordered by Sher Shah Suri to tackle the traders and other travelers in proper way and ordered them not to be harsh towards them.
Next
In case
point.
the currency improvement, Sher Shah introduced many reforms in coinage department. As before him, coins of mixed alloys were circulating into market which traders hesitated to accept.
Correct. Next point.
Construction of sarais, which is rest houses, to ease the journey of travelers. About 1700 sarais were built by Sher Shah at the distance of every 2 kilometers, 2 km, which is about 8 kilometers
Currently.
on above mentioned roads. The travelers, while on journey, can stay in these rice, and for them separate kitchen arrangements were made both for Muslims and for Hindus.
Okay, good. Next point.
Means he means mixed the two religions. He
Never
doesn't
discriminated. Correct. I agree.
Law and order situation. It is necessary to maintain the law and order situation to promote trade and commerce activities. So in this regard, Sher Shah was very strict. Hard steps were taken by him to punish the burglars and criminals. He was also strict towards official persons who used to despoil the traders. Majumdar 1994.
Okay, next point.
What does that
Law and order was
What does that mean? Majumdar
the
1994.
one who, from where the point is there, na? So he has found this out, or he has written it in the book, so that has been found out. So like suppose I am writing a history book and I find out, so in this book this point was there, and then that is taken in the net. So it's like a secondary source. So internet secondary source. What is the primary source? They often write it down. Yes, new weights and measures.
New weights and measures to avoid any kind of fraud regarding the weights and measures. Means like the shopkeepers can take 5 kg and give more, and means in the rice they mix some rocks to increase the weight, and
so any kind of fraud like that, right?
Sher Shah introduced new weights and measures which were more dependable and reliable. This step also proved to be very helpful in promoting trade and commerce activities. Ma'am, one point I missed, he also used some spy system.
Good spy system. Okay. Now you can move on to the conclusion. If you have any conclusion, just the first part.
In conclusion, the contribution of Sher Shah Suri in development of trade and commerce is really laudable. Sher Shah occupation was merely for 5 years, but it proved to be very fruitful in economic affairs, not only for upper classes, but also for common masses.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Stop screen share. I do agree. So I would like to ask you, Sher Shah took some economic policies back then. Suppose you are made the governor of a place right now. Which of his policies do you think you will apply in your kingdom or your territory? or your province, anything, you can take it.
No
Ma'am,
taxes.
now many frauds are happening, so I will think the spies can help me.
The spy system can help. Okay, so will you keep any standardized currency, or will you keep it on the use barter system and all?
Ma'am, I think standardized system can be better.
Standardized system will be better. Kavya, start screen share. Why? Ishan, why?
Okay, ma'am. Because in barter system, this can happen that if a person gives a means bike, then he will means the other person can, if some bad might can happen, means he means in opposite in return he will give a pencil like that. It's not a
Not a balanced thing. Okay, good, Ishan. Good. Keep up this good work. Okay, Kavya.
Ma'am, may I add a point?
When your turn will come, not now. Yes,
Ma'am,
Kavya. I was going to say yes,
Ma'am.
Isha present.
ma'am, I'm forwarding my mail I sent to you on Monday. Please kindly check that mail.
Okay. Yes, definitely.
Ma'am, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Is my voice clear?
Yes, your voice is clear.
Okay, ma'am, I'll start now. Sher Shah Suri, Managing a Kingdom. Table of contents. Here, these are the contents. Sher Shah Suri, the Shah of Hindustan. Farid Khan, commonly known as Sher Shah, was originally an Afghan landowner. Due to being ill-treated by his stepmother, Sher Shah left his homeland. He entered the service of the ruler of Bihar, where he rose in ranks due to his bravery and valor. This is where he earned his famous title Sher Shah for killing a tiger single-handedly. Entering the service of Babur after the service of the ruler of Bihar, he learned the Mughals' fighting techniques and then returned to his father's Jagir, which means manor or fort, and he took control of Fort Chunar through marriage. Gaining power around Bengal and Bihar, he captured the capital of Bengal, throwing an open challenge to Humayun. After two battles between the two, Humayun had to lay down his crown, making Delhi under the command of Sher Shah, and thus started the short-lived Sur dynasty. Fact file. Sher Shah did not believe in enjoying luxuries and letting his officers do work for him. He went on tours of inspection himself. His most important ministers were in charge of finance, charity, army, and justice. He was a firm believer of equality. Ma'am, after this, it's a theory. After I submitted, I realized that this may not be accepted, but this may later have inspired Akbar in uniting Rajputs. Also, Akbar may have been inspired by the fact that he was born in another Rajput's castle
That
itself.
is true.
So,
Absolutely. He saw, when Akbar grew up, he actually realized, when I start Akbar, I'll tell you, he actually realized that dividing the people of India will not help him rule. But if he unites the people, it is believed that Akbar did take inspiration in many ways from Sher Shah. Go ahead.
Sher Shah built several monuments, including Rohtas Fort, many structures in the Rohtasgarh Fort in Bihar, the Sher Shah Suri Masjid in Patna, etc. Sher Shah is generally viewed as tolerant of Hindus, except in the Maskar following the surrender of Raisen. The surrender of Raisen in 1543, Sher Shah's troops invested the fort of Raisen, and Puran Mal's Rajputs braced themselves for a long siege. Tired of the endless siege, Qutab Khan, an Afghan noble in Sher Shah's army, assured safety to Puran Mul and his family, who eventually surrendered. A siege is when troops surround a certain area, cutting off supplies so that the inhabitants of the area are forced to surrender. And I want to add a point here. In the surrender of Raisen, after Sher Shah acquired Puran Mal's territory, some Muslim women of one of the cities he had captured complained to Sher Shah that Puran Mal had killed their husbands for unknown reasons, and they said that if he did not avenge them for the crimes committed against them, he would be sent to hell on the day of
Judgment.
on yes, ma'am. And then Sher Shah, when just a minute, ma'am. The nobles were meeting in one place. A lot of the Rajputs were meeting in one place, and Sher Shah then surrounded the area once more and told Puranmal that if he did not surrender, he would kill everyone there. Puranmal, in a spur of panic, decided to kill his family so that they would not die in the hands of Sher Shah. And then he did, and then further he told all the other Rajputs to do so as well. There were about 400 Rajputs, and it's an estimated that around 1 lakh people died that day. Only a few women and children made it out, which is the massacre following the surrender of Raisen.
Okay. Okay. So that is one massacre that he did. Okay.
There are many similarities between Alauddin Khilji and Sher Shah, such as branding horses and maintaining a record of all soldiers, having a strong standing army that he paid in cash, fixing revenue rates, and standardized market prices.
Okay.
Sher Shah remained focused on the north and didn't go to the southern region as he wanted to cleanse his domains of the north first before venturing down south. But he could not do so due to his sudden death.
Okay. Thank you. This much is okay. Oh, this is a nice timeline you have added. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
My own second battle Kannauj. Okay. Next slide. Very
And
nice.
can I say something?
Yes. Come. 1 minute. Sher Shah's policies then and modern day. Very good. So this is a comparison. Yes. Can you explain this comparison in your own way? What would you like to say?
Ma'am, I would say that Sher Shah's policies were extremely, useful and efficient, and it shows that even some forms of the policies are still used today, such as what I have listed here, such as the start of the rupiah, which was a standardized silver coin, and now we also use standardized currency.
Right.
And there are rights to equality, and he also treated everyone equally. This shows that Sher Shah was an extremely able and efficient ruler, and that his policies are still relevant today.
Good. Very nice. This is a very nice way to end. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kavya. I appreciate this last way how you have done a comparison. Yes, you did not focus on any one part of his administration. You made it a general one. In general, it is fine. In general, it is very good, especially the last part, how you have ended with the timeline and the fact. Yes, next is Noyonika. And while
Ma'am, I want to say a
Ma'am,
fact.
Sukalpa, I want to say something.
Aryaman, when your time comes, when your turn comes, you will share along with the fact.
Ma'am, I want to say something.
Yes.
Ma'am, Sukalpa, I want to say something.
Sugar, write in the chat box. Noinika, start sharing.
I want to tell
Ma'am, will you be asking me questions?
I think, because the comparison you have already done, I wanted to see that part, or have you understood that part? So whatever I wanted to know, I have got it.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Ma'am, I gave something in the chat.
Yes, Sher Shah used the rupiah. I know. And of course, from there only we are still using rupiah. Okay, Noinika, can you start screen share?
Ma'am, this one.
Will come next day. Yes, Noinika, I can see it.
Ma'am, this one that I gave now. Okay.
So, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. This is my project on Sher Shah. So, I first started with the introduction that who he was. So, Sher Shah Suri, he was the son of an Afghan Jagirdar, and his original name was Farid Khan, and he was born in the year 1486 in Sasaram, and that Sasaram was located in Bihar. So now this Sher Khan title was given to him by his patrons because he actually killed a real tiger in a battle. And he was the one who introduced the currency of the rupee, and it's still used in modern India. And now he started.
Yes.
Ma'am, he started his career as a manager of a small territory for his uncle in Bihar, and then he eventually challenged and defeated the Mughal Emperor Humayun. And Sher Shah captured Delhi and established his own dynasty known as the Suri dynasty, even though it lived for a short span of time.
Hmm.
Now, ma'am, my main topic is military.
Okay. Yes.
So this is an introduction to military.
One
Sher
minute,
Shah.
Noyonika. In case the class ends, I want Noyonika and Nilesh to rejoin and present their work. Okay. Or okay, it's okay. Noyonika at least finish. Nilesh can do it next day. Yes, Noyonika, tell.
Yes, ma'am. So I have given an introduction to military in this slide. So Sher Shah Suri's military talent, it was one of the greatest reasons why he was one of the most successful rulers in India. And he is very famous in history because of his efficient military administrative policies. And he took many certain measures to strengthen his armies to make them successful. So those measures are strength, recruitment, identification, and supplementary armies.
Okay.
So now I have explained these points in detail. So this slide is about strength. And Shesha, he maintained a very strong standing army at the center, like Alauddin Khilji. His highly trained army included 15,000 cavalry and many infantries and 3,000 war elephants and a part of artillery. He also went on frequent inspection tours and he continued Alauddin Khilji's system of branding horses to prevent theft. And now, ma'am, recruitment.
Recruitment, you go to the rejoin, Noyonika.